Hey, what's up guys? It's the Lone Wolf Trucker coming back at you with another video. I want to do this video as a follow-up to my initial thought video that I did I guess about a month ago or so. But in that video I kind of went over my initial thoughts about TMC, how I felt with the decision that I had to come to TMC. And this video is going to be a 6-month review. And if you've been following the channel and my career path so far at TMC, you know that I'm approximately 10 months at TMC at this point as I'm making this video. So I'm a little bit late of getting my 6-month review out to you guys, but I'm going to do it in this video. And I'm going to kind of summarize everything into basically some pros and cons, right? So my initial thoughts, everything that I said in that video, and I'll post the link up here somewhere so you guys can check that out if you haven't checked it out. But my initial thoughts, none of that has really changed, you know, over this 6-month period, you know, going into 10 months. But I do have a couple of pros and cons that I want to, you know, go over real quick. These are just in my own personal opinion, my personal experience at TMC. I'm sure other drivers may share some of the pros and cons I have, or they have totally different or opposite, you know, pros and cons that I do. But what I'm going to do in this video is just cover the top 3 of each. So top 3 pros, top 3 cons, and I don't want this video to be too long. But just to kind of give you guys a refresher what I think of, you know, my experience at TMC this far up to 6 months. And really nothing has really changed as far as my pros and cons from that 6-month period to now, even though I'm at 10 months. So everything that's going on today with me at 10 months is still relevant to what was going on when I was here at 6 months. So nothing much has changed. So we'll jump right into these. And I got these written down on my pad right here. But I'm going to start with the negatives first, all right, with the cons. And like I said, these are my opinion and experiences that I had at TMC. So my first con that I have, which is, it really irks me, and I'll post another link up here to my my little rant video that I had, which goes into my first con, which is the Tarp Pay, right? Now, compared to other companies, you got Maverick that pays more in Tarp Pay. You got Melton that really is, you know, double what we get paid at TMC for Tarp Pay, and Melton just upped their Tarp Pay up to $100. And if you saw my other video, for a lumber tarp, we only get paid $40. And you know, if it's steel tarp, it's even less than that. So max is $40 for a lumber tarp, which is the big heavy lumber tarps that we use for big loads. I really have a problem with that. But when you come to TMC, you already know what you're signing up for. So if that was one of my major concerns, you know, I probably wouldn't be at TMC, right? I probably would have went over to Melton or to another company that paid more Tarp Pay if that was my major deciding factor, which it wasn't. So it's just something that I knew coming into the game, that the Tarp Pay sucks. All right, $40 in my opinion to be busting your ass with a heavy lumber tarp, it's not enough money. But TMC is paying what they're paying their drivers for these tarp loads, and that's pretty much it. Unless something changes, you know, in management and they change that, you know, we're stuck with this $40 Tarp Pay. So that's one of my cons that I have right now. One that would have been on the list but was recently removed from my cons list was the 62 miles an hour. That was high up there on my list. That was number 1. So being that TMC up there governed speed from 62 to 65, you may say that's only 3 miles. But that is a difference. I'll post another link to my video about that 62 mile an hour increase up here as well. But I've removed that from my cons list since they upped it. Obviously, we're still not breaking any speed records with that speed increase, but it is a much needed and much appreciated improvement to go from 62 to 65. So That's off my cons list. So the Tarp Pay, like I said, that's number one. It would have been number two, but now it bumped up to number one. The next thing on my cons list is trailer swaps. Now, if you come to TMC, I'm not sure how other companies work, but I'm sure other companies as well. I know Maverick for one, I think Mountain too, may have trailer swaps, but I know for sure that Maverick does. Now, if you're at Melton or whatever, and you know, you can post your comments down below. But for TMC, another con for me is trailer swaps. And the problem that I have with these trailer swaps is you'll have a perfectly good trailer, updated trailer. Pretty much we have Bensons that are old and we have Fontaines that are new. You have some Fontaines that are old too. But for the most part, you know, if you get a Fontaine, you're pretty much good to go. But even if you do get a Fontaine, you know, you might have something that's going on with that trailer. It could have a flat tire, it could have ABS issues or what have you. And you go from having a perfectly good trailer that now you have to drop off, go pick up another trailer in the drop yard, you know, with your load that's going to your next delivery. So you're bringing in an empty trailer, dropping it off, picking up a loaded trailer, and now you're taking off with that. And now you just inherited either a good trailer or a bad trailer. And for me, I've had my fair share of bad trailers. So number two on my con list is trailer swaps. I absolutely despise trailer swaps. But if you come to TMC, you got to know you are going to swap trailers. And that's another reason why we don't keep our straps wound up on the trailers. And, you know, every time you're strapping a load, unstrapping a load, you're winding up your straps and throwing them in your side box or wherever you're storing them at. But that is my con number two with TMC. The third con that I have, and this is really not a TMC issue. It is, but it isn't. It's more of a company driver issue. And for me, the third con is dispatch. All right. And for me, I worked out a pretty good situation with my fleet manager to where they know what I need to make. I've mentioned this in other videos about revenue to the truck. So my fleet manager knows where I need to be and what to dispatch me on to get me to the desired revenue to the truck that I need that's going to, you know, put money in my bottom line. But even though we resolved that issue early on when I got in my own truck, the problem that I still have is I have no control where I'm being dispatched. And even though I may be getting a load that's meeting my criteria for revenue to the truck so that I can, you know, gross the amount of money I want to bring home as far as a paycheck, the dispatch, for me, I have no control over that, right? If I don't want to go to a certain area or what have you, or I think that area is going to put me in a bad position to get home, you know, where I'm, you know, struggling with my clock to make it home, I really don't have too much say-so over that, right? So my fleet manager knows the revenue that I need to get to. He's going to get me there. We've came to an agreement on that, but we didn't come to agreement on where I'm going to be dispatched to. So my fleet manager does know that I don't like the Northeast. A lot of people don't like the Northeast, but I really hate the Northeast, so I haven't been up that way too much. But I have been up there on occasion here and there. But the third con that I have, like I said, is dispatch. You get dispatched to areas or to pick up loads that you have no control over. Some of them can be shitty loads that you're picking up. Some of them can be shitty areas. So you really don't have control over that. If TMC has a load that they need to move and you're the driver that's in the area, most likely you're going to get that load and you're going to have to, you know, haul it from there. It's just, that's how it goes. So that's my third con. So just to run over the cons again real quick. Number one is Tarp Pay. Tarp Pay sucks. Number two is trailer swaps. Trailer swaps suck. Number three is dispatch. And dispatch, I'm not going to say it sucks, but it's a pain in the ass. And another thing on the trailer swaps is, like I said, you can inherit a good trailer or a bad trailer, and that's how a lot of my breakdowns occur, because now I got to send in a breakdown because something happened with the trailer. I got lights out, I got electrical issues, that, I'm not going to spend hours trying to troubleshoot. I'll go in, try to inspect, see what I can inspect. If I can't fix it, I need to, send in a macro breakdown issue that I got light issues, I got ABS issues, I got, airline issues, I got airbag issues. About 95% of the problems that I've had with breakdowns had to do with trailers. And it's been back to back sometimes. I'll have a shitty trailer that I'll go get all fixed up and then have to drop that trailer and pick up another shitty trailer. And now I'm dealing with a whole host of problems that I got to get fixed again. Breakdowns with my tractor, with my power unit, have been minimal. I've had 2 in 10 months. So, like I said, cons are Tarp Pay, trailer swaps, and dispatch. Now let's end this video on a positive note with the pros. All right, so the number one thing, and this was the deciding factor for me to come to TMC, was the percentage pay. Now, they do give you the option to get cents per mile. I don't understand why in the hell anybody would, choose that option, but it's there for you for the taking. But from my experience, percentage pay is the way to go. And being that you're getting paid a percentage per load, whatever that load is paying, it could be going 5 miles or it could be going 500 miles. It doesn't matter how many miles you're going. You're going to get paid a percentage of that load. So if you're getting paid cents per mile and you're only going up the road 100 miles, you're making shit on that delivery. And even if you're going out 1,000 miles, right, you may be getting more money on cents per mile, but you're not getting any percentage on that revenue. So to me, it just doesn't make sense, but to some people it does. But I'm new to the trucking industry and I like percentage pay. And if you look at it, if you go to the next level, leveling up to, lease op and owner op, your own carrier. When you're a carrier, you're looking at cents per mile, right? But you're also looking at how much you're going to charge for that load. Now, if you're not a carrier and you're a lease op or you're an owner op, you want to know what is the percentage you're getting in relation to those miles so you know how much money you're making. So to me, percentage pay makes a lot more sense, and I'm glad they had that option here as a company driver, right? A lot of times if you're a company driver, I know at other companies, you get paid cents per mile. And in the long run, I don't really think it adds up to making more money. Like I said, if you look at some of my other videos, my 2K a week video, if I was getting paid cents per mile, there's no way I would gross over 2K a week. There's just no way I'd do it because I wouldn't be getting paid that amount of cents per mile, right? If you break down those numbers, I'd be getting paid what a veteran driver would be getting paid cents per mile to gross over $2,000 a week. But because I'm getting percentage pay, I'm actually grossing over 2K a week as a rookie driver. So to me, hands down, percentage pay, that is the number one pro. And that was the deciding factor of me coming to TMC versus Melton, versus Rail, versus Maverick, and these other flatbed companies. All right, number 2 deciding factor was home time. And the thing that I like about TMC and their home time is you can decide whether you want to come home or you can decide whether you want to stay out. Like I told you in other videos, most of the time I decide to go home, right? This weekend, I went home. I'm parked up now at the customer to deliver Monday morning and also to get my park up points. But I'm just coming off of home time right now. So home time, I know at some other companies, you don't get to come home every weekend. TMC is good to route you home every weekend. You may not get home on a Friday, right? Or you may get home late on Friday. You may not get home till Saturday. But you're going to get home for your home time, right? So you may just barely be able to squeeze in a 34-hour and have to head back out on the road. But you get your home time. And if you don't want to go home, you just let your fleet manager know, hey, I'm running. I'm going to stay out. I want to make some more money. Or I'm not going home this weekend. Or, hey, for me, I live in Atlanta. And I could say, hey, I want to go, up north somewhere. I want to go out west for the weekend. Route me here for this weekend. You have that option to do, which is great. So that's number 2 pro. The number 3 pro is the trucks and equipment. Now, this is also the deciding factor why I came to TMC. And you look at Black and Chrome, the Black and Chrome Mafia. One thing you know, if you come to TMC, you're gonna get a 579 Peterbilt, right? That's what's in the fleet, unless you're on a dedicated, and you have a day cab, one of the older 389s. But you're going to be in a 579 Pete. You don't have to worry about what kind of equipment you're going to get. And for the most part, I'd say the majority of equipment that we have is in top-notch condition. Like I said, my power unit that I got, I've only had 2 breakdowns with it since I've had it. And one was for a knock sensor, and the other one was for the heat controller unit, and the blower stopped working on me in the dead of winter. So those are only 2 problems I had with my power unit. The rest of my breakdowns all had to do with trailers, and it all had to do with negligence, for the most part, of other drivers not doing what they had to do when they had that trailer, and they drop off a bad trailer and they leave it for you to inherit. Now you got the headache and you got to fix. So trucks and equipment, hands down, the TMC fleet, in my opinion, you say too much chrome. TMC stands for too much chrome, but it's one of the nicest fleets. Even before I started driving for TMC, I'd see TMC trucks and be like, man, that's a sharp looking truck. And now that I'm driving one, I get compliments all the time about how nice the trucks are, this, that, and the other. Trucks got to be washed every week or every other week max. You got to keep your truck washed. You got to keep it clean. But 3 is, the third one is the trucks and equipment. So real quick to run over those again. The cons were Tarp Pay, trailer swaps, and dispatch. The pros were percentage pay, home time, and the trucks and equipment. So my 6-month review is pretty much the same as my initial thought video. I still highly recommend TMC as a starter company to come to, whether you already have your CDL like I did and didn't use it, to gain experience yet. I literally got my CDL, and I think it was like a week or 2 later, I was in TMC in their orientation. TMC also can help you get your CDL. So, and then if you got experience and you may have been a drive-in, a reefer, or what have you, or work for another flatbed company, and you come over to TMC to do flatbed, they pretty much take you from no CDL to CDL, no experience, to, a driver with some experience but may not have flatbed experience. Or you may have came from another flatbed carrier, and can come over to TMC. So I still highly recommend TMC as a company. Has it all been, roses and everything? No. But for the most part, if I had to do it all over again, like I said in my other video, I'd still come to TMC. I really wouldn't change anything. I'd still come to TMC as my, initial company breaking into this industry. So with that being said, that is my 6-month review. Everything is still going great. Check out some of my other videos, especially TMC almost fired me for this. You could see some of, the rough times that I've had at TMC, and some of the other videos you could see some of the good times I've had. But for the most part, bad and good, it's all been great. I wouldn't change any decisions that I made to come here. Still loving what I do with this flatbed. And that's going to be it for this video. So guys, to the next video, this is the Lone Wolf Trucker signing out. Peace.